territory to see if they can continue on their giant killing ways in the National Netball League. Last week, the Kestrels knocked over the Melbourne Phoenix. This week, we're at Essa Park in Adelaide to see if they can defeat the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Simone Thurtell. Well, some surprise scorelines last week. Let's take a look at all the results from round 10. The Adelaide Ravens had an easy win over the hapless Queensland Firebirds, who are struggling to post a win even over the teams in the lower half of the ladder. The Sydney Swifts finally broke their hoodoo with the Adelaide Thunderbirds when they beat them by 4 goals, their first win over the Thunderbirds in 13 matches. The Melbourne Kestrels and Phoenix played out an absolute thriller, with the Kestrels keeping their chances alive by beating their more fancied opponents. And the Sydney Sandpipers notched up a 63-51 victory over the Perth Orioles. The Adelaide Thunderbirds still retain top spot on the ladder, 2 ahead of the Phoenix. The Sydney Swifts are edging closer to a position in the top 2, while the Sandpipers are maintaining 4th place. The Melbourne Kestrels still have a chance of making the finals. The Ravens, Orioles and Firebirds are starting to build for next season, with their hopes in season 2001 basically dashed. Joining me in commentary this afternoon is Monica Lahr. Monica, we find ourselves in a position, as do the Adelaide Thunderbirds, we haven't been in this season. We're going to watch the Thunderbirds take to the court after a loss last week, and they'll definitely be a more determined team this week.
Simone, a very determined Thunderbird side, perhaps an vengeful Thunderbird side, but coming up against the Kestrels, they will be looking forward in the challenge of playing Australia's best players. And I think that with Mark Angove and Catherine Harvey scratching their heads as to what happened last week, they'll come out with a game plan to secure the winning points here today. But the Kestrels need to keep their heads high, their confidence riding, and I would suggest it could be an all-time classic game for this season. It should be an absolute thriller.
And we're underway in the round 11 match between the Adelaide Thunderbirds and the Melbourne Kestrels. Thunderbirds going from left to right of your screen and lining up like this. Jackie Roberts and Jackie Delaney, the two Jackies in goal shooter and goal attack. Hodge, Sanders and Squire through the midcourt. Harvey Williams and Sarah Sutter lining up together again. Coach Mark Angove for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. And the Kestrels taking to court with a strong team of their own. Amanda Burton and Cinna Neal lining up in goal shooter and goal attack. Danny Smith, Nicole Richardson, the captain in centre. Melanie Vivian, it's her 50th match in the Commonwealth Bank Trophy. Garbutt and Daly in goal defence and goalkeeper. And Nive Lynn is the coach of the Melbourne Kestrels.
Good start here in the first quarter, Simone, both goal apiece. Moving quite fluently into the forward line, both the Kestrels and the Thunderbirds. Roberts positioning well.
And our umpires for this match are Prue Plummer and Stacey Campton. Prue on your screen at the moment, keeping a close eye on play. Richardson went for the quick offload as she saw Amanda Burton moving through the circle. Touched by Thunderbird's hands though, so the Kestrels still with possession. And Amanda Burton. Ooh, in and out and in again for Burton, so the Kestrels level it at 2 apiece. And Amanda Burton shooting well last week, 21 from 25 at 84%. She'll definitely need to be on that side of target if they're to stay in touch with the Adelaide Thunderbirds, because this lady, Jackie Delaney, will sink them all night. Last week, Delaney only missed 5 shots out of the entire match, shot at 82%, and remember, that was against the combination of Broadbent and Ellis from the Sydney Swifts. She is in sensational form, Jackie Delaney. Cinna Neal not having a bad year either, 76%.
Good take there from Alex Hodge on the top of the circle. Delaney puts it up again, drops in to the Adelaide Thunderbirds. And interesting to note that Jackie Roberts didn't play last week, but she is taking court here today for the Adelaide Thunderbirds against the Kestrels. So, fairly brave move by coach Mark Angove.
And the first turnover of the match goes the way of the Melbourne Kestrels, but just as quickly the Adelaide Thunderbirds come up with their own. So the Kestrels with another chance to even the scores. Both teams so far shooting at 100% in the game. Early stages though. Richardson pops one up. Cinna Neal does the tough work against Kath Harvey-Williams, and does it well indeed. And this is something that we're going to have to watch. Cinna Neal, one of the young stars of the Australian 21 and unders. Jane Olschwager last week came out and really played well against Harvey Williams and Sutter. Cinna Neal's going to have to do the same thing, show a real maturity in this game.
See Squire going into the pocket, Hodge running out of space, Roberts to back up, but turnover going the way of the Kestrels.
Vivian on the transverse line, Smith over the top to Richardson, holds it up. Prue Plummer calling time because Kath Harvey-Williams' front bib has come off. So while we take a look, Richardson was looking for Neil, who was by herself. And that one off the rim. Oh, good work there from Amanda Burton to gather the ball back in for the Melbourne Kestrels. That's the type of determination that we'll need to see from the team if they are to have any type of chance against the Thunderbirds. The Kestrels have scored the last two. They're up by one with the centre pass.
The positioning, Neil takes the outer of the circle, doesn't even turn to spot the Kestrels player. I think it was Vivian on that occasion. Collects the penalty, and Thunderbirds turn it round through Sutter. Squire not playing a great game last week against the Swifts. And Roberts offloads that to Delaney, but not enough space. Wrong selection of pass there to Jackie Delaney.
3 turnovers now against the Thunderbirds, and there's another one strike it up for the Kestrels. So both these teams quite even in their statistics at the moment. 3 turnovers apiece, only 2 penalties.
Well, Catherine Harvey there trying to balance in the onside position and just held it for about 2.9 seconds, but the penalty was called.
Hodge now tries to get around Vivian. Jackie Roberts. Oh, rolls across the rim. Garbutt comes up with a nice rebound. So Vivian now onto Garbutt. Holds it up, looking for the option. Richardson finds herself open. Now Burton out of the circle. Back to the captain, Richardson. Was looking for Sinner Neal, who couldn't quite break free. Good work from Amanda Burton, though. Made space for herself. Got away from Sarah Sutter. Scores the goal. Kestrel 6 have scored the last 3 over the Thunderbirds 4.
Held up there in the forward line. Sanders wanting to offload Roberts, coming a long way out of the goal circle. Delaney right with her across the court. You see the positional move here. Delaney, the front position for the Thunderbirds. And she's the sharpshooter at the moment. Jackie Delaney, 4 from 4. Thunderbirds putting 6 attempts up. More of the play going the way of the Kestrels with 7 attempts to the post.
Richardson into Burton. Hand in there from Harvey-Williams. So Burton from the baseline. Neal double team. Sutter doing some good defensive work. And it's called offside. Under 10 minutes remaining in this first quarter. It's the Kestrels who have the 1 goal advantage. 6 plays 5. Richardson will bring it back on court to the circle. Oh, a tough pass into Neal. Does well. The rest of her teammates applaud her up court, and Sinner Neal does the right thing and converts that one to take the Kestrels back to a 2-goal lead. 7 plays 5.
Oh, Harvey tripping now on Sinner Neal's footer. She's going out for the centre pass. And now catch up from the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
And if you're going to have to catch up, that's one lady you want shooting for you.
She'd like 2 of them in the goal circle shooting for you, but
rock solid. The Kestrels now on the attack. They have the 1-goal break. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Richardson, nice quick feed into Burton. And Amanda Burton now still shooting at 100%, 5 from 5. The Kestrels 8 from 9 attempts at 89%. The Thunderbirds 6 from 7 attempts at 86%. Oh, good challenge from Kirsten Daly. But good work from Roberts as well. Delaney now from distance.
oh, great shot there from Jackie Delaney. Did a lot of the work in the early stages, having to get the ball into Roberts, and then puts the ball in the circle for the Thunderbirds.
Danny Smith onto Sinner Neal. Smith again works herself to the top of the circle. Will Sinner Neal have the confidence to shoot from there? She certainly does, and why not? Last week, Sinner shot 29 from 42 attempts at 69%. Already in this match, she's up to 80%, 4 from 5, so she'll be happy with that effort.
And one popping in and out also for Jackie Roberts, taking a while here to settle. Roberts stance, upright, balls in, pops back out, but on the other occasion she is successful with the Adelaide Thunderbirds. That's her 3rd attempt, 2 from 3 for Jackie Roberts.
7.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. The Kestrels 9 with the 1-goal advantage over the Thunderbirds, looking to stretch it to 2. Touch there from Peter Squire. Vivian cleans it up on the transverse line. Neal turns it around. That's a stretch for Richardson. Good pressure from Peter Squire. causes the turnover for the Melbourne Kestrels. So the Adelaide Thunderbirds, with this attacking run down court, can level up the match again, but Sinanil almost gets to it. Hodge quickly onto Roberts, cross court to Sanders, looking for the quick feed, finds it now into Jackie Delaney. And Delaney with the goal levels the scores here with under 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. An interesting thing to look at, Monica, Jackie Delaney in the Netballer of the Year award has cast, or people have cast for her, 18 votes. Now, after round 10, the votes become silent, so we won't know who wins, but she's 8, or we won't know who wins until it's announced, obviously, but she's 8 votes ahead of her nearest rival, who is Cheryl McMahon, on 10 votes, which really shows how much she's dominated competition.
Just on a few occasions down court, Simone, she has got rock-solid movement. She's just so astute as far as watching that play. It's almost that sixth sense that comes into her game. She's aware of the players around her, the speed of the ball. She knows the movement. She creates for everyone else. She's not a selfish player, and yet she has to finish it off in the end. And I think that's a real quality star performance, and she deserves to be there.
A settling goal from Sinanil there, 5 from 6 at 83%, brings the Kestrels back to 10 apiece after the Thunderbirds had a 3-goal scoring run. Now it's the Thunderbirds who are taking the lead by 1 as we go goal from goal here in this quarter. Smith holds it up, waits till Burton positions herself. Sutter with the intense pressure, does a great job. Sarah Sutter tries to keep it in court. Possession with the Kestrels though.
Attempts to the post both even at the moment, 12 apiece, but not happy with that positioning there. And Burton repositions.
Burton now 6 from 7 at 86%. 11 apiece with 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. And the last time these two teams met, it was a vastly different set of circumstances. It was round 4. The Thunderbirds 61 comprehensively beat the Kestrels 32. You would think on this first quarter performance that we're certainly not heading towards such a mammoth scoreline again. And the Melbourne Kestrels, as Jackie Delaney scores another one for the Thunderbirds. The Kestrels are on a real roll. They've won 4 out of their last 5 CBT matches. So looking to continue the momentum as that one goes through the hands of Sinanil.
Both Harvey and Neil coming out strongly. I thought perhaps Harvey might have collected the contact, not on that occasion. And Peter Squire looking to drive, but bad pass there from, I think it was Rebecca Sander that offloaded in the end.
Narelle Garbutt, good positioning. So the Kestrels with the chance after that turnover now to come back and level the scores again. Neil, cross court to Smith. Richardson at the top of the circle, offloads to Neil. Steady performance from Sinanil. Both her and Amanda Burton have 6 from 7 at 86%. Oh, and there's breaking called, so quite a basic turnover there, and it could be costly for the Thunderbirds, although we are in early stages of this match. 12 apiece.
Still a penalty that you don't want to give away, regardless of what stage of the game it is. It's basic requirement to wait for the whistle for the centre pass. Good take there from Sutter. Advantage not allowed, and that's disappointing because Squire was on the move. The centre third was quite open.
Squire now across to Delaney. Hodge and Delaney work beautifully. And Jackie Delaney takes the Thunderbirds back to a 1-goal lead. Thunderbirds 13 over the Melbourne Kestrels 12.
Good timing from Neil.
Richardson, nicely weighted ball to Amanda Burton, takes 1 step in and scores that one for her team, 13 apiece. Very, very silent here at Etzer Park. Quite a good crowd in, both sides is quite full, but a very quiet crowd. Maybe not quite expecting that the Melbourne Kestrels would be challenging so hard in the first quarter against the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Delaney with her first miss, but Jackie Roberts there to clean up the scraps. Roberts 4 from 5 now at 80%. Smith to Burton. Steps over the sideline. So they just need to keep it together, the Melbourne Kestrels, in the dying stages of this first quarter. And we'll reset that again and again. So Sanders now off to Squire. Hodge. Oh, great
well
ball.
done, yes. Good movement by Delaney on the goal line. Great pass as well. She waited time, but the timing is impeccable. Roberts moved out of the space.
Thunderbirds have scored the last two. Great ball from Delaney into Roberts this time, who was by herself under the post. Converts, and all of a sudden the Thunderbirds have skipped out to a 3-goal lead. 16 plays 13. Richardson takes a step back out of the centre circle. Now the pressure from the Thunderbirds defence starting to show as the Kestrels not finding it easy to get a passage into their shooters. That was nice work though. And finished off by Burton. Good work from Danny Smith to pop the pass in eventually. 16 plays 14.
Nicole Richardson, centre for the Melbourne Kestrels, has had a quite consistent first quarter. She's matching it with Rebecca Sanders. Feeding the shooters quite well. At the other end, Jackie Roberts has settled in nicely to the goal shooting position. 6 from 7 at 86%. Turnover going the way of the Thunderbirds.
Stepping called. So the Kestrels now with 8 turnovers compared to the Thunderbirds 5. And as Squire holds that one up, so she sees Hodge free. Bullet pass into Roberts. Off the back of the rim. And the contact goes against Roberts. So with 30 seconds remaining on the clock, the Kestrels take it down court quickly to see if they can get another one on the board before quarter time. Down by 3 at the moment, but still within touch. "14 seconds on the clock, and Prue Plummer, Stacey Campton not calling time here, so valuable seconds being wasted for the Melbourne Kestrels. Oh, and stepping calls against Amanda Burton, so they've wasted the opportunity anyway in the end. The Kestrels, and that is quarter time here at Exeter Park. At quarter time, it's the home team, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, who have the 3-goal advantage. They lead 17-14.
In the first quarter, statistics very close between the Melbourne Kestrels and the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Look at the home team there. Shooting percentage is very good indeed. Jackie Roberts, 6 from 8. Delaney, 11 from 12, only missing the 1. And surprisingly, no penalties incurred by Sarah Sutter in the goalkeeper position, but as I said, a very close first quarter.
You're watching the round 11 match between the Adelaide Thunderbirds and the Melbourne Kestrels. No changes made to either team at the quarter time break, and why not? They were both playing good netball in the first quarter. Thunderbirds with the first centre pass. Contact goes against Garbutt. And Jackie Delaney shooting at 92%, 12 from 13 attempts for Delaney. Thunderbirds have scored the last 2 in a row, and they now take a 4-goal lead, the biggest lead of the match so far.
Oh. And where I was sitting, Simone looked like Mill was pushing her right hip out, and Harvey was just trying to counteract that, but Finanill takes the penalty shot.
And Kath Harvey picks up the penalty. 18 plays 15. And you can see the shooting stats there for the Kestrels, both in the high 80s, which they would be happy with. As Jackie Delaney rolls on in the 90s, 93% accuracy now for Jackie Delaney. 19 plays 15. Again, Harvey pinned. And Harvey Williams now with 4 penalties against her name. Penalty count relatively low, 13 apiece at the moment for both teams.
Oh,
Touch there from Daly, good work. She fell to the floor but managed to get it off to Narelle Garbutt. Daly continues on.
yeah, that was meant for Hodge. Daly was there ready to pick it off. A good vision there from Daly.
Burton finds Richardson at the other side of the circle. Neal has to stretch for that one. Brings it down now under pressure from Sutter, and yes, it doesn't go in. Gets a touch on the ring, last touch by Thunderbirds defender.
Sutter probably just had to drop that to Harvey instead. Really put quite a lot of pressure on it. Went off court.
Garbutt plays on quickly. Smith off to Burton. Plenty of defensive pressure here from the Thunderbirds. No easy way into the circle for the Kestrels. Burton now, though. Looks for the option. Smith escapes from Squire. And this time, Sinner-Neal puts it through the net. Neal 9 from 11 at 82%. Kestrels have scored the last two, have the centre pass, and are coming back. Down by 2, but Danny Smith makes a bit of a meal of that one.
Picked up by Delaney and now Harvey Williams. Roberts extending the forward movement there. Garbutt behind her collects the penalty, and the Thunderbirds back out by 3.
Sanders with the centre pass out to Delaney. Hodge holds it up, now finds Sanders. Roberts on the stretch, works nicely with Hodge. And Jackie Roberts looking confident, 8 from 10 at 80%. There's the Thunderbirds cheer squad. A few things to cheer about.
Well timed by Smith on the top of the circle. Neal had the open avenue to Smith.
Down by 3, but staying in touch, the Melbourne Kestrels. The Thunderbirds 28 over the Kestrels 18 at the moment, as Roberts has to stretch for that one. Garbutt picks up the penalty. It's her 5th. And she's defending Jackie Delaney, so you'd expect her to pick up a few penalties. Considering Delaney is virtually unstoppable.
Sinner-Neal having front position on Catherine Harvey Williams.
Garbutt onto Richardson. Neal working overtime to try and get away from Harvey Williams. She's double-teamed at the moment. Burton makes her way around the circle. Now Richardson has to go back to Vivian. There was no way into the circle. Oh, Burton,
Yes,
solidly into Harvey Williams.
That doesn't matter because
Harvey Williams gets a touch, and it stays with the Kestrels here. Kath Harvey Williams desperately trying everything. Watch this one, though.
They're taking up the position. Burton comes into it. Normally, in any other situation, would have been defender being picked for contact, but allowed to go ahead.
Sarah Sutter has been pinned for the contact here. A couple of good battles going on between Burton and Neal, and Harvey Williams and Sutter. 22 plays 19. Thunderbirds out by 3. Sanders, Squire, Hodge onto Roberts. Floats it across court to Sanders. Nice short ball into Jackie Delaney. And it doesn't drop for Delaney. Daly onto Garbutt. Daly onto Vivian.
4 penalties against Daly, sorry. Kirsten Daly, I thought, was keeping in touch quite well with Jackie Roberts, but she's incurred 4 penalties and a few in the last few minutes.
Unfortunate turnover for the Kestrels there. Narelle Garbutt just took the eyes off the ball for a fraction of a second. Sailed over the sideline. So instead of being back within 2, now they're defending the Thunderbirds, but uncharacteristic miss there from Jackie Roberts in this match at least. Roberts shooting 8 from 11. And the Kestrels get another chance to reduce that deficit. Smith, back to Garbutt, Neal, and this is the circle where all the action's happening. And that's a nice confident goal there from Amanda Burton. Kestrels have scored the last 2, bring themselves within 2, and they have the centre pass. What can they do with it? Neal onto Burton, wanted to improve the situation, or at least her positioning. Now she does through a penalty to Sutter, but short with the shot. Burton, though, cool under pressure. Regains the ball and brings the Melbourne Kestrels back within 1. 22 plays 21. The Kestrels have scored the last 3 goals in a row.
And Burton 11 from 13. Great confidence between Burton and Sinner-Neal as well, Simone. I think, those two really geeing each other up, and against the combination of Harvey Williams and Sutter, have their work cut out for them, but doesn't seem to show at the moment as Roberts takes the rebound, picks it back up, and takes the Thunderbirds out by 2 again.
Well, the pressure on Garbutt and Daly really for the Melbourne Kestrels. If Burton and Neal are sinking at a good percentage, it's at the other end that the Thunderbirds goalers need to be stopped. Sarah Sutter starting to rack up the penalty. Sutter now with 3. And that one didn't look good from The hand for Amanda Burton. Harvey Williams drags it in for the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
That was good positioning by Robert. She watched the ball swing across the circle, positioned in front of Kirsten Daly on that trip down court, and margin again out to 3. That's where we were at the beginning of the second quarter.
10th goal for Jackie Roberts from 13 attempts at 77%. Sanders. Nice work, Hodge into Roberts. Hard off the back of the rim. Garbutt in position. Vivian has to work hard against Hodge to keep possession for the Kestrels. Garbutt with the quick release.
Oh, Harvey
Williams. Beautiful work. Smith gets a touch. It deserves another look, Kath Harvey Williams.
Sinanil saw Burton unattended. Harvey running in, out of space. 50-50 chance putting it in the air, but went the way of the Kestrels.
Hodge cross to Delaney. Works with Sanders to improve the position. Daly picks up the penalty. Her 6th for the match. As Delaney takes the Thunderbirds out to a 4-goal lead. Thunderbirds have scored the last 3 goals in a row. 25 plays 21. 6 minutes 40 remaining on the clock in this second quarter.
Good attempt there by Squire. Had the elevation on Smith, but just the drop going the way of the Kestrels.
And that's a much-needed goal for the Melbourne Kestrels by Sinanil, who has 11 goals from 13 attempts. Thunderbirds have had 32 shots at goal. Kestrels have had 27. Sanders brings it back to the place of the penalty. Delaney has to chase that one. Does so nicely. Hodge.
Baseline, yes. No one taking the baseline, but Roberts was there in the end. Once again, Daly. I'm sure she knows that she is right behind her.
The Kestrels with 12 turnovers, the Thunderbirds 7. Garbutt back to Daly. Vivian taking their time to get out of their own quarter here, the Kestrels, as a good challenge comes in from Rebecca Sanders, but she's been pinned. Daly onto Garbutt. Oh, and that's a solid hit from Alex Hodge. She'll stand aside. And Melanie Vivian, who is playing her 50th game in the Commonwealth Bank Trophy, picks it up. Garbutt now onto Burton. Cross court to Richardson. Holds it up, waits for a shooter to break free. Sinanil, the goal attack, sinks it for the Kestrels. They've scored the last 2. And again, the Kestrels on a bit of a run. They're not letting the Thunderbirds get away with too much. 25 plays 23. The chance to get back within 1 again.
Attempts to post for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, 32 attempts. Kestrels 28. They're staying in the Kestrels forward line. Sinanil is asking for the ball to be released in the goal circle.
Neal back out to Richardson without a look. Just inside the circle here. That's a tough one for Richardson to pull in. Luckily, Neal had repositioned herself so could clean up. That one just drops in for Sinanil. Kestrels on a 3-goal run now. And they're back within 1. 25 plays 24. Well, quite often we see teams go goal for goal. At this stage in this match, we're going 3 goals for 3 goals, which has been the story of this second quarter. Jackie Delaney breaks the Kestrels run, takes the Thunderbirds out by 2.
Richardson now taking it from the centre. Nicole Richardson playing very steady game for the Kestrels. Quite impressed with her first quarter as Sutter goes out for the intercept. Keeps her head up. Smith going into the pocket but releasing the sideline. Back to the Kestrels. Burton has played an impressive game to date with Sinanil.
And they are working overtime, Neal and Burton, to try and get away from Sutter and Harvey Williams. Sutter on that occasion just goes to ground. Neal shooting at 88% to keep the Kestrels within 1. 26 plays 25. 3.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Thunderbirds out by 1.
Am I not reading this? I don't seem to have seen Alex Hodge a lot in the game, but she's had a few touches, but I think Vivian is really keeping her intact as far as a lot of the pocket stuff that we see Hodge get, and also the top of the circle. She's really cutting her out of the play, and I think that's where the Thunderbirds are struggling. Richardson's playing well on Sanders. Vivian is playing well on Hodge, and I think really Roberts and Delaney having to come down and help out. And then when they turn around, there's nothing there to throw to.
Well, Hodge was brought off at half-time last week against the Swifts and was replaced. Sanders went into wing attack. So interesting to see what Margango might do at half-time. Perhaps she will make the move again, but the Thunderbirds have gone back out by 2 after the Kestrels had a chance to level it up. Richardson by herself was looking for the quick ball into Burton, but now she gets it. And Amanda Burton, 12 from 15 attempts at 80%, 27 plays 26. And this really is the type of close game that we were expecting, considering the way the Kestrels have been playing. In their last couple of matches last week, they pulled out an absolute thriller against the Melbourne Phoenix in the dying stages of the match, defeated the Phoenix by 1, 50-49. Margango looking a little concerned on the sideline there. Plenty of time left in this match, though, and Thunderbirds out by 2 as it is anyway. Jackie Delaney, 18 from 21 at 86%.
Squire covered Smithville on that occasion, but, ankle?
Yep.
Shoe off it was, yes.
I think she stepped on Delaney's foot, actually. Melanie Vivian, see immediately Coach Marg Lind concerned for her wing defence. Melanie Vivian, who has been playing a great match. Let's try and pick up what happened to Melanie. Take a look as she lands. Yeah, she lands
Right on the foot and it rolls.
ouch. Quite a common occurrence that you do see in many netball matches. Players landing with their defender. Well, it's all happening out on court for the Melbourne Kestrels. Not only has Melanie Vivian twisted an ankle and gone to the bench, but the umpires, as Sarah Sutter takes a fabulous intercept, the umpires very unhappy with the Kestrels and their time-delaying tactics as they brought the new player, Leah Van Rensburg, onto court. Van Rensburg has gone into the wing defence position, and we'll see how much that injury has affected the Melbourne Kestrels. Down by 3 now, 29 plays 26. That's Sutter's great intercept.
Fantastic intercept. Read it well. Goal scored off Sarah's intercept on that occasion down court. And once again, the Thunderbirds taking the lead out by 4.
30 plays 26. It is the biggest lead that we've had in this match. 4 goals. Oh, through the hands. Through everything there. Amanda Burton not quick enough to pick up on that pass. So the turnover against the Kestrels. Garbutt goes for the intercept. And unfortunately, just that injury not coming at the right time for the Kestrels. I mean, they never come at any times, not at good times. That one rolls around. And the possession goes to Jackie Roberts. And she comes up with the goal. So now the Thunderbirds have scored the last 4 goals in a row. And they take the 5-goal lead in the dying seconds of this second quarter. 31 plays 26. They have the opportunity to get another one on the board as well. Hodge to Sanders, to Roberts, spins quickly. She knows the timekeeper is out of her chair. And in fact, Roberts doesn't get it up quickly enough. That is the end of the second quarter. And at half-time, the Adelaide Thunderbirds have the 5-goal lead, 31 over the Melbourne Kestrels, 26.
That 5-goal margin perhaps stuttering with 2.5 minutes at the end of the first half. And the statistics were fairly even up until that point where Melanie Vivian went off. Penalties, much the same. Rebounds, the Adelaide Thunderbirds 3 less than the Kestrels. Turnovers there, Kestrels turning it over far more than the Thunderbirds. When you look at the attempts to post, 10 more attempts for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. A very even second quarter. Simone, just the last few minutes, the Thunderbirds taking it away.
Will the Adelaide Thunderbirds continue on, or can the Melbourne Kestrels come back at them? You're watching the National Netball League on the ABC. Well, the Kestrels have the first centre pass of the third quarter. They're down by 5 at the moment. Melanie Vivian, as we take a look at the interchange, we'll take a look at the Thunderbirds first, and Anna Colbeck has come on at goal shooter to replace Jackie Roberts. Roberts shooting quite well, shooting 13 from 20 at 65%. Just the one change for the Kestrels, and that is that Melanie Vivian has come back on at wing defence. Good to see that that ankle injury didn't keep her out of the entire match. She's had some intensive treatment, although she's still not moving.
Running well, no.
No, we just have a look at her in back play there. Didn't take off with any great speed and kind of looked like she was limping. But we'll keep an eye on her. Kestrels with the first scoring opportunity of the third quarter. All in and out. Christina Neal. Amanda Burton does everything she can to try and keep it in play. Just lost a little bit of enthusiasm, you kind of, or a bit of feeling you felt there towards the end of that second quarter, the Melbourne Kestrels. They need to come out and get the spark back early in this quarter, because if they let the Thunderbirds get out to too much bigger lead, it'll be too hard to pull back. Anna Colbeck starts her campaign in this round 11 match well.
Jackie Roberts taking the bench for a good performance from her for the LA Thunderbirds. 13 from 20 attempts. Colbeck, fresh legs. Positions that well to Delaney, and Delaney decides not to let the ball go. It's mine, and
follows it all the way over the baseline.
Yes, let's look at this. Colbeck judges it well. Delaney in court. That was the hand of Garbutt, I think, that went with her.
And the goal was successful. Thunderbirds have scored the last 6 goals in a row. The Kestrels really need a settling goal to break that run for the T-Birds, who just seem to be rolling on at the moment. Hodge gets pinned.
Yes, had her left arm in the back of Vivian. Vivian very ginger still as we're into this third quarter.
You can see her favouring, putting all the weight on the right leg.
Can't be good. I mean, if there's injury there and she's playing on it, perhaps she's assisting it, you know, as far as getting worse for next year. Throw-in going the way of the Thunderbirds.
15 turnovers now for the Kestrels, 7 for the Thunderbirds. Interesting statistic, though, the Thunderbirds have racked up 10 more penalties than the Kestrels, 32 to 22. It's one to keep the eye on as Neal takes a nice intercept. More, it was a misdirected pass, I think, from Delaney, and Neal found herself. Johnny on the spot. Vivian, quick release to Neal, now holds it up. Ooh, just too high and far for Richardson. Richardson's a little bit horrified, but she couldn't really stretch any further to drag that one in. Harvey Williams back to Sutter.
Long option again from the Thunderbirds. Hodge a long way out of position once again. Sana's having to wait for Delaney to get into play. The switch coming across the circle. Delaney doing well once again, setting the screen up.
Contact against Daly. Oh, Delaney, shot with a shot. We're not used to it. Thunderbird still from the baseline. Colbeck finds Hodge. Pressure on from Vivian. And Anna Colbeck, 2 from 2 at 100%. The 41 Commonwealth Bank Trophy games for Colbeck. Thunderbirds have scored the last 7 in a row. They're out by 8 at the moment. Make that 9 as that one dribbles in for Anna Colbeck. 35 plays 26.
Surprising atmosphere here today, Simone. Almost you're expecting affirmation from the crowd as the ball's going into the Thunderbirds forward line, that there is some applause or cheering, because it's almost definitely quiet as they're moving into the forward line. And only after the goal is scored do they then acknowledge that the Thunderbirds are doing well.
But Melanie Vivian has decided, yes, that ankle injury has done her in. A very distressed Melanie Vivian is forced to the sideline and has been replaced now at wing defence by Anne Harrison. You can see Harrison has come in at wing defence. Vivian, we did note, was just not moving with any confidence or ease at all. That ankle injury that she incurred in the second quarter, obviously causing her great difficulty. And coaching staff, and I think Vivian herself has decided, as another turnover is incurred by the Melbourne Kestrels.
Activity from the Kestrels hindering the Thunderbirds' movement down court. They are slowing the ball up. Richardson doing, good attempt there by Nicole Richardson. Timed it well.
Called offside in the end, but she's in the air. I kind of thought it wasn't a bad attempt, but anyway, not to worry. Hodge into Delaney. Delaney in for intimidation. And Delaney with the goal. 21 from 25 at 84%. Under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. And the Thunderbirds have taken it out to a 10-goal lead now. 37 plays at 27.
Martin blowing out here the attempts to post. The Thunderbirds putting up 48 attempts. Kestrels have petered out only with the 34. Once again, Delaney, 22 from 26. Not a bad performance from her. Missing only 4 to date, 85% shooting average.
Well, Thunderbirds have put 7 goals onto their half-time scoreline. The Kestrels have only put 1. First 5.5 minutes of this third quarter. Neil lines it up, and that's short. Good touch from Sutter off to Harvey Williams, and the Thunderbirds are on the roll again. Hodge stretches beautifully in the air to drag that one in. Bailey, no. Will be pinned for that one. Jackie Delaney spending quite a bit of time on the ground as she chases. Oh, I was going to say that one dropped. She almost thought about the pass off, but last week against the Smiths we saw Delaney take out the umpire twice as she chased down balls. 100% commitment. She's got a bit of a wry smile on her face. Colbeck at the other end for the Thunderbirds. Has shot well since coming onto court. Anna Colbeck, 5 from 7 at 71%.
So the Thunderbirds blowing out the attempts here. 58 attempts to them. The Kestrels, 37 attempts.
Nice ball from Smith across to Burton. The defensive pressure of the Thunderbirds, Harvey Williams and Sutter, is just intense in the goal circle. Thunderbirds out by 14, 44 plays 30, coming up to 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Quick work now in the circle of the Thunderbirds between Colbeck and Delaney. Delaney 27 from 32 attempts at 84%. Richardson has to hold it up in the end, has to release because 3 seconds was approaching rapidly.
Good back up there from Narelle Garbutt on the transverse line, assisting Richardson. Very quick thinker, Nicole Richardson. I think that's been enhanced by her performances within the Australian side. She's really evolved over the last 18 months. Burton and Neil working it in well. Neil right under the post.
You'd have to say a bit of luck there for the Melbourne Kestrels after the Thunderbirds defenders had done everything they could. Sutter with the touch. Hodge into Delaney, who's just getting away from Garbutt at the moment.
Worked the body well there on Narelle Garbutt. Took her right around. Front option used.
46 plays 31, coming up to 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Richardson, quick ball off to Amanda Burton, who's short with the shot. Burton now 14 from 18 at 78%. Still quite a good percentage of accuracy. 38 penalties for the Thunderbirds compared to 30 for the Kestrels, as the Kestrels sink another one. 14 goals the difference.
Colbeck extends. Hodge picks up the crumbs. Moving back into position quite well, Anna Colbeck. Garbutt right on Delaney, but Daly just let Colbeck go at the last minute.
Squire picks that one up as Smith gets a shove in the back. And Harrison will hand off to Richardson. Burton holds it up, goes back to Smith. Smith looks for the quick restart as Neil goes to ground. And Sinner Neil still shooting nicely, 19 from 24 attempts at 79%. But as we said, it is the attempts at post. The Thunderbirds have had 19 more attempts than the Kestrels. Make that 20 as Jackie Delaney brings up the Thunderbirds' 50th goal. That is three-quarter time here at Etzer Park, and it's the Adelaide Thunderbirds who have a 15-goal lead over the Melbourne Kestrels, 50 plays 35.
And let's look at the Kestrel statistics at three-quarter time, and I think the message in it all is the turnovers. 20 turnovers in total. If you add that column up there that says turn 20 against the Kestrels, and that they can ill afford that against the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Shooting averages were pretty good up until half-time. They've petered off somewhat this third term. goals there. Burton doing well, 16 from 21. Neil also 19 from 24. They've got to create more opportunities, but the 15-goal margin might be just out of their reach.
We've got 1 quarter left in this round 11 match between the Adelaide Thunderbirds and the Melbourne Kestrels. Nick Richardson gets us underway in the 4th and final quarter of this round 11 match. Melbourne Kestrels have made quite a few changes. Let's take a look at them. You can see that Michelle Razoukas has come on at goal shooter. That means Amanda Burton has gone to the bench. Leah Van Rensburg has come on at wing attack, and Danny Smith has gone to the bench. And you can see also that Garbutt and Daly have swapped positions. Daly now to goal defence, Garbutt into goalkeeper. And Sutter came up with a great intercept and offloaded nicely, but to Sinanil.
Catherine Harvey's got a nice smile. What were you doing?
Oh, with a 15-goal lead, you can afford a few of those little mishaps. Delaney to Sanders. Although in saying that, things are starting to get quite tight at the top of the ladder, and for and against percentages determine those positions. 9 minutes 39 remaining on the clock in this match, and it's the Adelaide Thunderbirds who have the 15-goal lead over the Melbourne Kestrels, 55-40. Leah Van Rensburg, who's come on in this final quarter for the Kestrels. Look at that. Adelaide Thunderbirds win record at home, 89%. 40 wins, 4 losses and 1 draw. They certainly like playing here in Adelaide.
Pretty good record there, Adelaide Thunderbirds.
And their opponents, the Melbourne Kestrels, 36% when they travel of winning. 10 wins, 16 losses and 2 draws. As we see, a classic Delaney goal. Brings up her 35th. 35 from 40 now at 88%. Harrison to Richardson, off to Razoukas. Oh, nice shooting here from Michelle Razoukas. 3 from 3 and looking quite comfortable. Hodge, long ball out to Sanders all by herself. Now off to Delaney, who in turn had no defender on her. Worked with Hodge to improve the position, and why not? 57 plays 42.
Van Rensburg came on momentarily for Mel Vivian in the second quarter. Dying minutes of that quarter has come on into the wing attack role here in the last quarter. Sutter takes the rebound. Squire has to parallel that one, looking for some option. Adelaide Thunderbirds picking up the rhythm in the last 2 quarters here today against the Kestrels.
Sanders into Delaney. Garbutt just getting a little tangled as Delaney marches on. 78% collectively the Thunderbirds are shooting at. As that one bounces off the back of the rim, and Daly works hard to pull in the rebound. Offloads out to Harrison. In turn, off to Richardson. Garbutt holds it up the transverse line. Harrison has to work hard against Hodge. As Squire has a good old battle with Van Rensburg. Colbeck by herself under the post. Finishes that one off. Leah Van Rensburg not too happy with Stacey Campton on the sideline. She thought she deserved a bit of whistle after that last play from Peter Squire. Didn't come though. And Thunderbirds capitalise.
Harvey runs with Neil on that trip down court. Picked up the contact. Harvey now with 13 penalties. One might say that perhaps it's the player that needs to get in control of her body and adjust to the game, but perhaps others would say that she needs to just keep going because she's in touch with her opponent and just making sure that Sinanil is aware that she's right next to her.
That's what makes Kath Harvey-Williams so successful. Oh, beautiful ball. Cut through the defenders, found Colbeck. Oh, he just couldn't quite convert at the other end. 59 goals from 77 attempts now collectively for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Daly offload.
Not much ground being made up by the Kestrels. There was 5 passes on that occasion to advance just 3 metres. We'll see once again Harvey turn it over. Lots of space down court. Colbeck will play it a while, and there's Colbeck once again, utilising the goal line, drops it into the Adelaide Thunderbirds. And the Thunderbirds attack just running the Kestrels' defence a little ragged at the moment. 60 the Thunderbirds. 17-goal lead over the Melbourne Kestrels as that one doesn't drop from Michelle Razoukas. Sanders now off to Hodge. Colbeck back to Sanders. Doesn't drop for Delaney. Garbutt gets a touch off to Harrison.
Oh, there's Peter Squire. Richardson went for the drop. Squire reading it well.
Hodge just holds it up until she sees the player that she wants. That was Anna Colbeck when she'd broken free from her defender. Both defenders out of play. Colbeck, can't make it drop, but she's done enough to get the rebound. And this time, Anna Colbeck puts it through the net. 11 from 17 at 65%. That Anna Colbeck. Well, Nicole Richardson took the timeout for a shoulder injury, and Marg Angove has taken the opportunity to make a plethora of changes. Bomberto off to Anna Colbeck. Oh, Colbeck, beautiful, nails it. 12 from 18 at 67%. And I'll get the changes to you as soon as
well
we've got them.
Harvey
Here they are
turning
right
her body
now.
well.
You can see wholesale changes. Cassie Martin has come on for her 50th Commonwealth Bank Trophy match. For the last 5 or so minutes, Laura Bomberto has come on at wing attack. Anna Colbeck has moved position into goal attack. Demelza Fellows has replaced Sarah Sutter in at goalkeeper, and Leanne Oates has come on to replace Peter Squire at wing defence.
So the bench having a bit of run for the Adelaide Thunderbirds and under 4 minutes remaining.
Touch from Bomberto. 64 plays 43. Under 4 minutes remaining. Sinna Neal. Drops another one. 25 from 30 for Neal at 83%. Difference is 20. 64 plays 44 as Daly goes for the intercept. Laura Bomberto from the sideline. Cassie Martin into Anna Colbeck. Rolls around the rim and Bomberto struggles. Offside called against Harrison. So the Thunderbirds still on the attack. Cassie Martin gets a goal in her 50th match. It is now the Thunderbirds 66 over the Kestrels 45. This is the 5th time this year that the Thunderbirds have scored more than 60 goals in a match. Very impressive indeed. Razoukas brings the difference back to 20. It's been a better effort in this match from the Kestrels against the Thunderbirds than it was in round 4. Still not good enough though, as Cassie Martin bags a very impressive goal. Martin now 3 from 3 in her 50th match. She came on just under 5 minutes remaining. Sinna Neal has shot well for the Melbourne Kestrels. 26 from 31 at 84%. Just not enough though against the Thunderbirds as Colbeck bags another one. Under a minute remaining, in fact only 20 seconds remaining on the clock. 68 plays 47. Oh, a touch from Demelza Fellows. Sanders in the way, but the offload finds Anne Harrison. A little bit scrappy now as Fellows comes up with it again. Can the Thunderbirds get it down court? I dare say they won't have time to put up another shot. And that is full time here at Etzer Park in Adelaide. A convincing win to the home side, the Adelaide Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds 68 in the end over the Melbourne Kestrels 47, as we see the players congratulate each other on court. And the Thunderbirds, no doubt, happy to be back in the winning circle again after last week's loss to the Swifts. Take a look at the penalties. One area, and probably the only area that the Thunderbirds won't be happy with in this match. 53 penalties. They had a lot more than the Kestrels, 42. 2 more rebounds to the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds definitely be happy with their turnover rate. They only gave away 14 turnovers compared to the Kestrels' 29. 7 intercepts for the Thunderbirds. Look at that, 91% of it. Oh no, it was 91 attempts, I'm sorry, a goal as compared to 59 attempts at goal for the Melbourne Kestrels. That really is where the match was won and lost. Final score, the Thunderbirds 68, the Melbourne Kestrels 47. And Monica Lam is standing by with Jackie Delaney.
Thanks, Simone. Well, very close there until half-time, Jackie, but after Mel Vivian went off, it was the Thunderbirds all the way.
Yeah, look, I think we were wary. They obviously had a great game last week, and they're a team that can really put it together. So, yeah, they stuck with us for a half, and to their credit.
The actual game plan from Marg was what coming against the Kestrels, because beating the Melbourne Phoenix, she would have looked at that and thought, a pretty good side, and then your loss against the Swifts last week. Something different this week for the Thunderbirds?
Yeah, I think we just needed to quicken our movement. I think last week we just tended to jog around the court all the time, whereas we need to put a bit of speed on and really let the ball go.
You performed very well, very admirably. Your skills at the moment, we were touting you as one of the best performers in the competition, which you are, because the awards are there, the accolades are also there. You're having a great season coming off your injury.
Yeah, look, I think I couldn't have hoped for a better season. When I came into this season, I probably expected to miss a few games through knee niggles, but it's been really good. And in terms of form, I guess you're only as good as the players around you.
Well, I say good luck to you, and I mean that sincerely for the rest of the season. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Monica.
The Adelaide Thunder